You've monitored the fields for weeks, waiting for the rain to finally arrive. But when you walk out after the storm breaks, the relief turns into frustration. Your perfectly ripening tomatoes are split wide open. It feels like you lost a month's worth of work overnight. While the rain is the most visible factor, the actual conditions for that damage began days before the first drop even fell. During a dry spell, the plant limits water uptake, causing the tomato's outer skin to gradually harden. When heavy rain hits, roots suddenly flood. Rapid water absorption forces the inner pulp to expand faster than the rigid skin can stretch, until it finally fractures. This splitting occurs because the speed of the environmental shift outpaces the plant's natural biology. To stop it, you have to build a management system based on total consistency. Step 1 starts long before the clouds roll in. You have to intervene and control the soil moisture during the dry days to prepare the plants for the coming rain. Applying light, consistent irrigation when it's dry keeps the fruit skin flexible. That steady supply of water ensures the cells are accustomed to stretching, which significantly reduces the shock when a heavy storm arrives. But your soil management also dictates your success. Bare dirt is a major liability. It bakes under the sun, losing its moisture entirely, and then acts like a sponge that instantly floods the roots during a downpour. The physical solution is a buffer. You apply a thick layer of organic mulch, like straw, dried leaves, or compost, right around the base of the plants. In this cross-section of the soil bed, you can see how the mulch functions. During a dry spell, this layer blocks the sun and stops moisture vapor from evaporating out of the topsoil, and when heavy rain hits, that same mulch layer catches the impact. Instead of a sudden flood at the root zone, the water is forced to slowly trickle down into the earth at a highly controlled rate. By using mulch to dictate the speed of water absorption, you eliminate the sudden surge of moisture that causes fruit to burst. Beyond the soil environment, you also need to manage the internal structure of the plant. A resilient fruit requires a specific nutrient balance to maintain its integrity. This microscopic view shows a tomato's cell wall. Calcium is the primary building block here. As calcium molecules arrive, they bind the cell walls together, making the tomato skin physically stronger and more resilient under pressure. But calcium is only transported through the plant via water. If the soil dries out due to irregular watering, nutrient uptake freezes. The calcium remains in the soil, but the roots are physically unable to absorb it. This is why applying calcium fertilizer is ineffective unless it is paired with the steady, consistent irrigation strategy we established earlier. You must also minimize other stressors like aggressive pruning or poor drainage. These factors compromise the plant's metabolic stability, leaving it with fewer resources to manage the physical pressure of a sudden storm. A healthy, unstressed plant possesses the structural resilience to handle the shifts that cause a weaker system to fail. Even with perfect soil and nutrition, there is one final risk: the common habit of leaving tomatoes on the vine until they are fully ripe, right as a storm approaches. As a tomato reaches full maturity, its skin reaches its maximum tightness and loses its remaining flexibility. At this stage, even a minor moisture surge can cause it to split. To save your crop from an impending storm, you adjust your harvest timing to the breaker stage. Look at this comparison. Instead of waiting for the deep red finish on the left, you pull the tomato when it looks like the one on the right, showing a slight blush of pink or orange at the base. At this point, the fruit has already received everything it needs from the plant. It will finish ripening safely in a crate, developing the same flavor and color without the risk of splitting in the field. This strategy removes your most vulnerable fruit from the danger zone right before the highest risk period begins. For growers who face heavy rain every single season, there is a forward-looking strategy you can implement before you even put seeds in the ground. Selecting specific tomato varieties bred for thicker, crack-resistant skins provides a genetic baseline of defense that makes every other step in your system more effective. Success in the field comes from layering these strategies, regulating soil moisture, buffering with mulch, ensuring calcium uptake, and timing your harvest. Walking into your field after a downpour to find your harvest intact is the result of intentionally breaking the chain reaction of plant stress. Implement these steps to ensure a market-ready harvest regardless of the weather. For more strategies on mastering crop resilience, subscribe and keep growing smarter.